Staten Island, New York. There's 5 boroughs in New York: Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Staten Island. Staten Island, they call a forgotten borough. And I was born there, raised in a single parent household. My mother raised me and my younger brother, and she did what was best for both of us. That's put a roof over our head, clothes on our back, and food on the table. And that's all we can ask growing up in those early years. And growing up at those times, we had some influence. Most influences that we had were negative. But the positive influence that I had in my life was my grandmother. My grandmother, in addition to my mother, raised me. She was a church secretary, worked and got paid $200 a week. But here was something that was super duper powerful about my grandmother. She had this unbelievable faith and belief that things could happen for me. I don't know why she didn't believe that it could happen for her, but she sure believed it could happen for me. And we had a trade-off. I would go and create the life of my dreams and buy her a home in the process and get her out of those drug-infested streets of Harlem in the 80s. And she would continue believing in me and being in my support. And that's what happened. I went to college, first person in my family to go away to college. But here's what happened. The second year in college, we discovered something. And what we discovered was she had lung cancer. And cancer in 7 different languages is the most feared word. You hear cancer, you automatically think life is over. And that's what I thought, actually. In fact, I dropped out of college my sophomore year in college, which was one of my early mistakes I made. I went back home to be with my grandmother, and a few short weeks after she passed away. Here's what happened to me. At 19 years old, I lost my grandmother. Every reason to do well in life. But that day, when I buried my grandmother, I felt like I buried my dreams and I buried my goals. And I woke up 25 years old. Every reason to do well in life, but I was failing. And here's why. For those 6 years that passed, I kind of felt like I was on the sidelines, and I really just parked my life. I parked my dreams. I parked my goals. And that one morning, I woke up with 93 cents in my bank account, pennies in my pocket. I was homeless, going through a divorce, had children by different women, you name it. Everything that could possibly go wrong in life was going wrong. And I had to make a decision. How do I want my life to be 5 years from now? And the question that came up that day, which changed my life, is if I continue doing what I'm doing now, in 5 years, where will I be?